end up in Cambodia, first of all?
I think since the first time I went to Asia, when I was like 19, I went to India. My dream was becoming a good tattoo artist and just go to Asia and never come back.
Mm-hmm.
And with the years, made it happen. I didn't know it was going to be in Cambodia, but I traveled for 2 years and I passed by Cambodia and I met a guy that had a tattoo shop here. And he invited me to come back for a couple of months for the high season. And I came back for 2 months and I stayed 2 years. And then I decided to open my own shop because normally I don't stay that long anywhere. And here, 2 years just passed so quickly that I said, okay, I should open my shop here.
So you began tattooing back in Barcelona, where you're from?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what made you stay in Cambodia in particular? Was it what you were learning for your art, or was it a place?
I think it was a mix of a lot of things. No, traveling in Asia for 2 years, it's quite exhausting. So I think I had the need of a home. So I don't know, I wanted to have my own washing machine and not living in a hotel or hostel anymore. No? And Cambodia is very easy to stay, visa-wise and all this stuff. And that's what made me stay at the beginning. But then with the time, I end up liking more and more and more Cambodia and the culture and the people. And I don't know, it's just like such a nice, easy life here. No?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what about in terms of being a tattooist in Asia? Because I'm not sure what it's like in Cambodia. In Thailand, I think a foreigner can be a tattooist in a shop. Is it an allowed skill in Cambodia?
Yes, there is no problem in Cambodia. It's quite easy also to open your own business. And as soon you have your working permit, your visa, your business license, everything. Wait a second. Thank you. Yeah, there is not a problem about that here. If you have all your papers in regulation and you pay your taxes and everything is fine.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And how's it been for the COVID situation in Cambodia?
It's been very bad in the fact that there is no tourism and it's a disaster for a country that bases everything on tourism. I live very close to Angkor Wat, and Angkor Wat have like lost 98% of the people that visits. Mm-hmm. So it's a disaster for the people, for Cambodians especially, no? And foreigners also that have their own business. Many people have closed business. Many Cambodians I know, they have lost everything, go back to the countryside. So for that side is very bad. In the side of the virus, it seems to be very, very under control here. There's been no deaths, not that many cases. And I think it's related that there is no big agglomerations of people on closed areas. Here, people live in the countryside, there is no public transport, people go with their motors, so there is not that much contact like in Westerner countries, no? And maybe the heat also. So in that side, it's been very safe, let's say. And then by another side, I find that somehow Cambodians are taking their city back, which I think that is very beautiful. You see Cambodian hanging out more in the temples, doing bicycle rides, doing things around. More business focused more in Cambodian tourism now and in Cambodians, which I think that's very nice. However, it brings like the part that all the people that have lost their jobs and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of everything.
Yeah. Did you have to close for a bit?
I did close for 3 weeks. Also because I changed location of my shop. Before everything happened, I was thinking about going to a smaller location because I wanted to focus my work on just be by myself and work more by appointment and change a bit my dynamics. And thanks God, I decided that, and I was going to move in April, but I signed the contract month before. And thank God I took that decision because my rent was very high on the other side. Here is much cheaper, so I closed for 3 weeks, and then I reopened. And at the beginning, I was very scared I was not going to have work, but to be fair, I've been working, I've been okay. And yeah, it's been okay.
Okay, nice. So it's Made in Pain. This is the studio, right?
Made in Pain Tattoo is my name as a tattoo artist.
Right.
And Sak-ti Tattoo is the tattoo shop.
Ah, okay. And let's talk about your tattooing because, you know, like most great tattooists, you have a unique style. So where does your inspiration come from, and explain your style to people?
I think where I get the most inspiration is when I travel a lot. As more I travel, more things I see, and I don't know, the beauty of different cultures, especially in Asia. It really blows my mind, and it makes me create a lot of things. No, I think my style changed a lot during the time. Depends of where I travel. One of the most recent places I traveled, it was Japan. I've been going to work to Japan, and right now what I draw is mostly inspired in Japanese culture, but done in my own way, more black work, and it's not traditional Japanese tattoo. It's more Japanese inspired, but in dot work, black work style.
Yeah. I think I can see that in the video that you sent me with the flowers. That sort of kind of springs to mind. But like you say, in your black work style, what do you like about doing black work and dot work?
I don't know, I just like it. I think I prefer black tattoos. I think they age better in time. They just look nicer, I think. And I like that very graphic, no? A lot of solid black, and then I also like details a lot. So dot work and little lines and things like this, it allow you to reach a level of details. I really like the engravings also, all the engravings, and I think I take a lot of inspiration from that too. So I'll mix a bit everything.
And as a tattooist, do you constantly draw as well? Are the two skills of drawing and tattooing strongly, you know, part of the same world, or is it a separate art, would you say?
No, totally. Like, to become a tattoo artist, I mean, I guess there is tattoo artists that don't draw, but I don't think that's right. If I become a tattoo artist because I liked drawing, and I draw all my life since I was a child, I always was drawing. And to be fair, I'm very busy always, so I draw for my customers, and I don't have much time to draw for myself, which is what makes you grow. So every time I get to go on holidays or take a little break, what I do is basically draw all the time. My boyfriend always say like, why you go on holidays to draw? Like, well,
yeah.
Isn't that your work? And like, yeah, but I'm drawing for me now. No? And then what I draw for me, it helps me create different things in tattooing.
Yeah. What do you use any like Photoshop to make designs now? Because I know some tattooists use, like, you know, the pen. That's kind of still digital drawing, but I know some people make also Photoshop designs. What's your sort of views of the kind of merging the digital with the old ways as well?
So I like to draw by hand. However, for preparing a stencil for a tattoo, I like to use the iPad. It's not Photoshop, it's another program, because it makes a perfect stencil. And also I give you like you can work by layers and you can try different things and show it to the customers. But I don't like to only use the iPad for everything. I like to draw by hand a lot. I think it's like mix a bit of everything, no? I do many tattoos freehand also. So if I wouldn't draw by hand, I would not be able to do tattoos freehand, no? So it depends on the project. Like if it's for me, I definitely draw by hand in my sketchbooks or paintings or whatever. Then depends on the tattoo I'm gonna do. If I'm gonna do a stencil, probably I make the drawing with the iPad, or sometimes I do a sketch by hand, pass it on the iPad, and then I do a perfect line and everything for having a nice stencil. And then if it's gonna be freehand, I just draw it on the customer, or it depends.
Nice. Do you have like a solid customer base who come to you for like large scale work? They're I can't think of the word, but they're loyal. Do you have like a loyal customer base in Cambodia, or people from outside but they'll come to Cambodia just to get a tattoo from you?
Yes, in Siem Reap I have a nice customer base. I have very, very nice customers that always ask me very nice things. And yeah, they come to get one tattoo and then they come to get another, and then they start getting bigger and getting a sleeve, getting a back piece, getting whatever. This year I was supposed to have some customers from the outside that were going to travel just to get tattoo for me, but with the COVID and everything, it's been not possible. But yeah, I'm very happy to have the customers I have, and they're very loyal, to be fair.
Yeah, that's really nice. And do you tattoo any Cambodians?
Not many. I would like to tattoo more Cambodian people, but tattooing in Cambodia is very new. It's not like Thailand. In Thailand, it's all over the place. But in Cambodia, it's starting to happen this moment that tattooing is not a jail or prison thing anymore. It's starting to be a trend now. So not many Cambodians have tattoos yet. But yes, it's changing a lot. It's changing. I think in 3 to 5 years, it's going to be very different. The tattoo culture in Cambodia, it's growing so much and so fast.
And what do Cambodians think of your tattoos and your appearance? Do they ask questions? Do they, are they shocked, or are they used to you?
Depends where you are, no? In Siem Reap, people is more used to things, to different things. But obviously, if I go to the countryside, it's very shocking. They like it. They always say sad, that means beautiful. Or they say Lang, that means strong woman.
Strong, yeah.
or they call me Apsara because of the ears like this also.
What does that mean?
Apsara is the dancers from the female dancers from the Angkor era. Like in the walls of Angkor Wat, there is a lot of Apsara statues, and they have the ears hanging like this also.
Yeah, and in Thailand we have Sakyang, which is famous, the famous sacred tattoo. Is there a version of that in Cambodia, or does it not exist? Like you were saying, it's tattooing as a whole is completely new.
Yes, it does exist. So Sakyang tattooing, it existed forever in Cambodia also, but Sakyang is like a tattoos for luck, not religious tattoos. And yeah, many times the people that need luck sometimes is not so good people, or delinquents or boxers or cops or whatever. So that's why it's like, tattooing is a religious thing or a thing from sketchy people, no? But as I say, it's changing. Actually, there is like the Sakyang Federation here in Siem Reap.
Yeah.
that I didn't visit yet. Shame on me after almost 4 years here, but I really want to go check them out. I hear good things about them. I hear that they are nice and clean, and I would like to go and visit them soon.
Okay, this is good. And do you have, is there a good community of artists in Siem Reap?
Not many. There is not many artists, and right now many shops have closed or are about to close. So yeah, there is not much of a scene of tattoo community like other places. No?
Yeah. Do you find that hard, or do you just sort of discipline yourself to create?
Well, I always have friends that come visit the guest spots at my shop, so I always have people around me to exchange.
Yeah,
and I also travel a lot. Even if I have my base in Siem Reap, I go to work in Japan, or I go back to Europe, or I go to conventions. In the last convention I went was Chiang Mai Tattoo Convention. That was very nice.
Oh, great!
So I'm not stuck here.
Yeah,
like I always have other people.
You can like pick bits out from when you go around. That's good. Have you been to Copenhagen before?
Yes, I really like Copenhagen.
Yeah, when did you come?
Now, last time, it's a long time ago, maybe 4 years ago, I think. I think 4 years ago.
It's super quiet at the moment.
It's very quiet now, no?
It's very quiet.
I bet it's beautiful, though.
It's very beautiful, yeah. For someone, you know, I'm loving the piece, to be honest. It means you can enjoy where you live, and it's a nice observation that you made with the Cambodians. I mean, here it's the Burmese who are suffering, but it's almost like what it would be like to live here without tourism, and it's quite nice. But then everyone is struggling because of the economy. So, what's your kind of aims with your tattooing for the future? Do you have like a piece that you really want to do? Do you want to do like a full body on someone? What's sort of in mind for you?
I don't have a specific, I think, and I focus a lot also on give them a nice experience. Like people let you mark them forever, and they've been saving money for a long time, and so I really like to provide them a nice environment to get tattoo and a good memory of that day. Not just like come, okay, make the tattoo, bye. I more than like a specific tattoo I want to do is like the way I want to work and the way I want to deal with my customers and the way that I want to make tattoos, no? And it's more like that, like just making nice tattoo, make people happy and make them have like a very good memory, and working only by appointment, taking my time to be with every customer. I don't want anymore like when I'm tattooing people entering the shop and having to stop and things like that. I want that when a customer is in the shop all the time is for them.
Yeah.
So I'm what I want to achieve is more going in this direction, no? Of creating a very nice tattooing experience and making beautiful tattoos and people happy.
I think that's really important because tattooing is kind of the norm globally. I guess there's so many places where it's like a shop, go in, out. So it's nice to bring back that element of like sacredness, like we were saying about the Sak-ti for every experience. Do you have advice for people who want to start tattooing? Say if they've been drawing and they're thinking about getting into it, or beginner tattooists, or people who have been tattooing for years. What's your sort of key advice for people?
My advice for people that want to start tattooing, well, first draw a lot, and I think to be a tattoo artist you have to be a very passionate person, because it's a hard work. Many people think like, oh, tattooing, yeah, you have a super nice work, but it's like a hard, exhausting work. Like you go by the shop, you never know when you're gonna go out. You just put your whole life into that, and it's very intense, and it's like hours and hours, and your back problems and blah blah blah. So you have to be very 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 passionate about it, and be ready to face all the kind of challenges that bring you. And I would recommend, if you really want to learn to tattoo, find an apprenticeship. I never had an apprenticeship. I learned by myself, but I wish I had one. Gone much quicker. If you want to find artist that you like, and show your respect to these artists, and try to get an apprenticeship from them, is I think how you should think it.
Okay, very nice. Thank you so much, Ona.
Thank you. It was a nice chat.
Yeah, and let us know if you come to Copenhagen.
Okay.
Hopefully Thailand might open soon.
Yeah, when things open, I can't wait to go around a little bit.
I bet, yeah. Okay, I'm loving following your work as well. It's so beautiful. You know, kudos.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Una.
Bye. Thank you.